What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Knoxville Nights. Hi, Blake. How's it going?
Scared me.
We are live once again. This is Knoxville Nights presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. We are here with Jack Anderson tonight. I'm Josh Gerlach. That's Blake. He's actually here. And Cade Higday. We're here to go through a pretty busy off week for Knoxville last week. There was a lot of crazy stuff happening. Driver changes, World of Outlaws, High Limit. Also, kind of a regular regional team here with that guy. He has some news, and then some banger races out west as well. So we're going to go through all that with Jack, and then we're also going to hear a quick word from Impact Signs.
A great sign is a surefire way to get people through the door. At Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps, we specialize in creating beautiful signs that capture attention and draw people in. Whether you're a business, school, church, bank, hospital, or event venue, we have the perfect sign solution for you. We make the process simple. From design to manufacturing to installation, our team handles it all. The right sign helps you stand out and attract more customers, so you want to get it right. Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps. Hashtag any sign, anywhere.
All right, so welcome back. We'll dive into this. Get started with Jack. Jack Anderson, you had yourself quite a busy week down at Knoxville Raceway between your prelim night and your Saturday night. Has that success kind of sunk in, and the bittersweet, has that gone away a little bit at all, or how are you feeling after the week?
I've had so many people call and text me about it, so I'm pretty much, it's not a big deal. It's part of it. It sucks for sure. That money and just making the big show at Nationals, that would have been huge. And it sucks, but yeah, we moved on, and yeah, I got to kind of focus in here because racing with the Renfros now and the 2KS car, I kind of got to focus in and get my focus away from there and focus on going fast at some of these tracks I've never been to before.
So how'd that whole deal get started? Obviously, you have your success. The 2KS was Ian Madsen. For those that don't know, been living under a rock, it was Ian Madsen. Obviously, he gets hurt. Brooke Tatnall's in it for a little bit. And then explain that whole situation. When did you get the call? What happened?
Yeah, so it was actually Saturday because Brooke, shout out to Brooke, he came down and talked to me a little bit after the races, but he had that prior thing with the 14 car. I don't know. I don't remember what team it is off the top of my head, but I know him and his boy are kind of doing that deal together. So he had prior obligations. And I drove by Hess and Joey and Troy stopped me, and he started talking about the race weekend or the race week, I should say, how it went. And he told me to call him on Monday or come on down to the shop, and rest is history. Went there and we talked for a good hour and a half, looked over the cars together a little bit, and brought my seat over the very next day.
Has your workload slowed down at all?
A little bit. Since I'll be driving the 2KS this weekend at Knoxville, we got a little surprise this week for my own stuff in some sense. So I still gotta get some stuff ready for this weekend, and I don't have to really do much over there. Like, I kind of go over there, watch, kind of sit in the corner and let them just go ham at it because I don't want to mess up their routines and stuff. So it's weird, definitely weird going from working on your stuff all the time to kind of just making sure your helmet and suit's clean. That's definitely a big change for me.
So it was your first nationals, right? This year in the 410 rookie season at Knoxville, and don't want to go through it in too much detail. We did get you for our Jetco trailer talk after your prelim night, but we did see you go out. You qualified 5th on your prelim night. You did come out of the B, and you drove 23rd to 16th. On Saturday, you looked pretty sporty, and I think we can make the argument that you were looking like you were going to probably lock her into the show. What all did you learn through those first couple of nights or the 2 nights at the Nationals? And did you take a lot from what in your first season at the Knoxville Raceway in a 410? Did all that kind of pay off? And I don't know, how'd you feel this is kind of building up?
I definitely feel like that's the best the car has been. And the engine was, call it fresh. We had, there was the 3rd night on it going into our prelim, and the car was awesome. Like, I couldn't ask. Like, we was just qualifying. We knocked one really, really good one off, obviously going quick time earlier in the year. But other than that, like, it was just not good enough. Not good enough, especially with Knoxville's format. And with Nationals going out and setting fifth quick, that was huge, man. Like, qualifying is, if you have a bad qualifying run, your Nationals is already off to a really, really bad start, and you're already digging yourself out of a crater. And like we knew we had to do, we drew a good pill and went out there and set down a heater, hung on to a top 5 spot, and yeah, kind of just worked our way up from there. And yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. My prelim night had a couple of oh crap moments, and yeah, and then obviously what happened on Saturday in the B. It was definitely a stressful but exciting Nationals all mixed into one.
And so you lost brakes. I think you said on lap 2 of the B main.
Yes.
So at that point, did you kind of know you were in a little bit of trouble and you were holding on, or were you still attacking at that point?
I mean, I knew that I had to like find something because the cushion was just so far around in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 it wasn't very far around, but the bottom was just so good. Bottom was so dominant. But I also knew that 5-6 laps in, the middle was going to get really, really good. Like right after that caution, even after it was kind of rolling around there and rolling it in for a couple of laps, I knew the middle would be super good. So I get away with running that slider line that actually Ryan, he ran earlier in the heat race this year to get by me. When I started like second or third in the heat, I remember he drove by me, hit his slider on me, he just never stopped sliding himself, and he drove away. And that's kind of what came into mind, and like, it'd be better to protect and just try and make as much speed as possible. My foot hardly ever left the floorboard after that.
Things have happened pretty quick for you this year. I mean, all things considering, you jump into a 410 and the success was there off the start, whether people expected it or not. When you finished 6th, I think that opened a lot of eyes. And then I think for us Knoxville people, it was really no surprise what you were able to do for the Nationals. But what was that adjustment to? You had a lot of media attention. I mean, that whole Nationals week was pretty big. Obviously, a lot of people were figuring out who you are, and there have been people in that situation before. You're a pretty laid back guy. I mean, you're just off of high school. You just graduated. How has this whole process been for you, just mentally and whatnot, jumping into this world very quickly?
I mean, like, I can't just like sit around and, kind of just, I just soak it in as much as I can, but I'm not just going to keep my head wrapped on it. Like, I had a great time talking with all kinds of people during the Nationals and stuff, and even leading up to the Nationals, with getting down, getting interviewed, and like, I'm not going to drag that out and like kind of set up on a pedestal of past success. I mean, if I want to be able to do this for a living someday, which that's the dream, that's everyone's dream that does this. I can't like keep my mind fixated on that last good run. Like, oh, a couple weeks ago we had this good run, but we've been horrible these next 2 weeks. You got to try and go out and do that every single weekend, especially when you're a small team like us. Go into the season with not a lot of equipment, try and put out the nicest piece that we can every single week. But it was kind of hard to do that this year. We it definitely took some hits in the wallet after breaking some all the stuff that we broke. But we fought hard. We earned everything this year. Like, it was not easy. Long hours in the shop. Yeah, we busted our butts to kind of get us to that net point at Nationals.
And to kind of continue on with your rookie season kind of breakdown there, you mentioned it. You probably take 3 part failures out of your season, and like your results would look way different. Like Blake said, I don't think it was a terrible surprise with anybody that was paying attention. Similar to Ryan in the domination that he showed. Like, you showed all year that you were very racy. What's that? Does that give you a lot of confidence? It probably helped a little bit going into Nationals, but closing the season out in the 2KS, and then what next year could be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, the biggest thing early was heavier racetracks when we first started earlier this season. Like, right off the gate, like probably the second or third night in the car, I knew for a fact we had slick track speed. Like, we could pass race cars. The car was planted. The car was always felt like I was going forward. I never felt like it had it not wanting to operate for me. And then some nights we'd be good when it was heavier, and then maybe be a little bit worse when it was slick, but still pretty darn good. And yeah, it was just then part failure, or I made a big mistake that cost us huge, or another part failure. Like, I knew at some point it had to stop. At some point it has to, like when you have 3 big ones that just like, it's different whenever like you don't have any speed and something goes wrong. Like, that's a one-way ticket to really putting yourself and the team like right down into Mopey lane. But whenever we had as much speed as we did, passing so many race cars or going quick time, and we had a part failure. Like we're still pretty happy about the night because we know that we can come back from a part failure or come back from like a meh night and just go out the next weekend and just still be stupid fast. It's just the biggest thing is just trying to keep our heads up and just keep the nose on the grindstone and keep working to make your stuff faster every single week.
Kind of piggybacking off that, but you've gone through all this adversity and owning your own stuff and doing it all yourself. You talked about wanting to race for a living one day. You're one step closer to that, racing for Troy. How much confidence does that bring you that you're one step closer to living out your dream, fulfilling your entire dream?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge step. It's definitely a big old jump to it. Troy and Tammy, they're amazing. Whenever I had to sit down with them and we kind of just sat over like some of his rules and all that stuff, which I was obviously I'm 110% down to do. Especially all the crew guys, Jet, Jeremy, Hess, Joey, we've all been getting along great. Like we have fun on the truck ride down. Like, and this just been 1 weekend. I feel like I've had a blast. That's for sure. Like outside of getting to drive someone else's stuff for Troy and Tammy. I've definitely been having a blast. I'm trying to soak it all in and still be aimed on like the next race, and just trying to learn these tracks I've never been to. Like Jackson, that was definitely different for me because that's the first 3/8. Technically a 3/8. The first 3/8 I've been on since I ran Sprint Invaders my first ever year. Otherwise it's just been Knoxville. It was definitely a learning experience. Had a oh crap moment in the heat race with Hunter, and it was still fun for the track being as heavy as it was. It was still fun, obviously, to go try and do something different.
Do you think you were flipping over there in turn 1 and 2?
Oh, 110%. Because like he hauled that thing in there. Like he drove it in there. Because like I thought I had him cleared. I'm like, he's not going to try and slide me. It's too narrow. And Zach actually went to the bottom and really left me a lane right around the top. And I kind of got a little bit loose. Like I got rotated more than I wanted to. And then next thing I know, I see Hunter hit the berm and like car gets super sideways, and I just had not really anywhere else to go. And I wasn't trying to give him a lot of room, so where he could slide me, but I was just trying to give him enough room to really kind of make him guess. And he got over the berm and I got over, I believe his right rear his tail tank. And we were definitely up on the bike. Left rear came off the ground. I watched the video. It was a little scary. But I talked to Hunter and we're cool after that. I just didn't want him to be mad at me my first race out against the Outlaws, getting yelled at, but he was cool. And I don't know what he said in his interview, but everything was all right.
So you haven't done this very much in a 410, but I know that you have really put in the work on your own stuff and, working with your dad. How much? It's only been 2 races, but are you kind of talking a different language now, working with a different team? How is that something that you have to kind of be mindful of going forward?
It really does open up me, since we're going to all these other tracks like I talked about earlier, just focusing on driving and not worrying about and giving information to Troy for him to make the car better, which I haven't really had much to complain with this thing, honestly. Like especially like at Lakeside, that thing was a rocket ship. I just needed to get comfortable faster, in qualifying we were, I believe, at 10th. Like I want to say 3rd through 12th was all within the 10th, and we ended up 9th. Like it was like super close, but just those baby mistakes that I made because I've never been there, and it's a brand new car to me. And but I have to focus on driving, and I don't have to worry about the changes that they're going to make because I already trust Troy, man. He's been around this forever. He'll probably know more about these things, or he'd probably forget more about these things than I'll ever know. And he understands, like, 'cause I'm not the best at relaying information at these other tracks. Like if we went to Knoxville, like we are this weekend, I feel like I'm going to be able to explain things to him a lot better. But like at Lakeside and especially Jackson, like I had a hard time explaining things, especially at Jackson. But he always felt better every single time I hit the racetrack. That's for sure. So it's definitely different, but I'm enjoying it so far. That's for sure.
Go ahead, Blake. I know you got something stewing.
I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you were going to be. I never know how we rotate on our questions here. But
Silence of the Lambs.
It usually goes Josh, then you, then me. But we seem to get a flip
jumped in
flop
front of
every
you,
time.
and I was like, I don't know. I was trying to keep it rolling there, but Lakeside, man. I mean, how about that? 6th in your first start. I had to probably feel good. Obviously, get the heat race win. these tracks aren't on iRacing, so you can't really practice them. They're just kind of, you just jump right in. And obviously that's a sprint car driver's thing to get to a track. We talked about it with Garrett Williamson earlier in the year. You go into that first corner in hot laps, it's going to stick. Like, you just have to have that faith about that. So what's that been like, with now Lakeside, now Jackson? Had you ever driven at Lakeside before?
No, I've never been anywhere.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know with Sprint Invaders, you just, because it's bull rings and whatnot. But
I think I've ran 3 tracks besides Knoxville, and it was Burlington, Vinton, and Oski.
Okay, so you've gotten bigger, somewhat big, small, pretty much. Yeah. So what's this like? And you're in a fast car. I'll say it. It's a great car. It's a very fast car. But what is this like going to these new places? And we'll talk about it later what your plans are here in the next coming weeks. But just keep rolling there.
Lakeside, that place is awesome. The banking is just out of this world. Like, it looks crazy on TV. Like, I've tried to watch film, and honestly, it looked bigger than it was in person, but the banking was a lot more aggressive in person as well. Like, it was kind of a weird surface. Like, Lakeside's always different, I feel like, every single time you watch it. But 3 and 4 was like super heavy, and there's a huge hole. But I talked to Jack Wagner that's been down there. He races down there in the non-wing every weekend. There's normally a hole going into turn 3, and it's just always there. And you get in there, and it throws you back and forth, and then you're just sat for the rest of the corner. And then 1 and 2, and especially I'm talking about the feature here, on entry till about the center, it was super heavy, and then from center off, gut slick. But everywhere else was super juiced up, which was really, really weird. But that place is fun, especially when you get going around the top around that place, wide open. That place is a blast. That is for sure.
It'll be interesting here in a couple of weeks. We can ask you if you're a half-mile guy or a short track guy.
Yeah, we go to, I think, I'll save it for later. I lied. Never mind. Got that out. I'll save it for later. I'm not going to spoil Josh's question for later on where we're going. So I'll let Josh ask that later, since he already talked about it. So.
Maybe we'll tee that up for you, Cade. But so, yeah, looking forward to this weekend, right? You're going to be in that car still. So what are you kind of thinking? You kind of have a package that you felt obviously pretty comfortable at Nationals, look good. What are your thoughts kind of going into this weekend season championship?
Me and Troy, we did talk, and he's, like I say again, he's super easy to work with, and he wants me to be comfortable. That's his biggest thing, is that he wants me to be comfortable. He doesn't want to throw me into something super foreign that I've never ran before. And I haven't raced for a long time, and it's all been at Knoxville, so we've kind of been on the standard stuff that we've been running all this time there. And, but we put something together that I think was going to be super fast, and he just kind of kept telling me what he's going to do, and everything sounds good to me in my brain. So, and it sounds kind of similar in one way or another. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think we're going to be super fast, and yeah, if I can just go down, put down 2 good qualifying laps, I think we'll be in excellent shape. That's for sure.
Before Kate asks the bigger question here, I just wanted to touch on what are you trying to get better on? You've always said that you're wanting to improve and trying to get better every single week. Is there anything in particular here, especially now that you're getting to new tracks, that you'll kind of look at 2025 and be like, all right, here's where I need to be better for 2026?
One of my biggest things at Jackson was I'm working the wheel a little bit too much. I'm driving it like it's like Stewart, like Cade was at Stewart earlier this summer, or earlier this spring, just here all the way around. But it's not that small, it's still a smaller track, technically a 3/8, but the thing is, like, scrubbing so much speed. I feel like we lost about 1/10 and a half during qualifying because I was here, which I was nervous, it's my first ever time there, but car went through there, and then on my cool down lap, of course, I don't turn the wheel, and the thing just rolls right around there, and oh, great, like that would have been my plus whatever amount of spots and double tenths picked up. But yeah, we go back. Almost got me again. Almost talking about later in the season, almost got me again. Careful now.
Don't spoil Kate's question.
I'm not trying, all right? I'm just yapping away. But it's just trying to get dialed in completely, which is going to take time. I know that, but I'm super hard on myself. But I just want to be good now. It's kind of hard to wait for that, But yeah, Lakeside, I definitely felt a lot more comfortable than Jackson, just for it being a bigger track and kind of just more in my wheelhouse, I'd say.
Kate, I have another question before you take your big one that nobody knows what's coming.
Why don't one of you guys just ask it already?
Because I have a different question.
We're going to save it for you.
Yeah, we're saving it for you.
Yeah, that was an hour ago.
So we've talked a little bit. I think it was even it was a different day down at Nationals. But guys that are jumping in to do different rides, What are some things that needed to be changed to make you more comfortable? Because you've heard like Gio talking about placement of things on the dash, and then obviously steering placement and stuff like that. Did you have to make any big changes for that car to get you comfortable?
I just made sure that I was up high enough in the car because I like to have the wheel like in my lap, or like not like all the way up close to me, but just closer in general. I don't like having to really like. Some guys like to be extended whenever they have to turn the wheel, but I do not. I hate being extended. I mean, it doesn't help that I have super small, short arms. But yeah, like the brake pedal, we run a Hess Power. Hess's brake pedal is where you can dial the. It's flat. It's not round like your standard one. It's like a little plate, and you just take the bolt out and put some blue Loctite on it, and then you can adjust or however you want the angle. And Brooke ran his like this, like flat, like almost completely flat, and then I angled mine like all the way up, just so I can just boot into that thing whenever I need it. And the gas pedal I didn't change; I just changed the springs, and we're kind of just off to the races.
You got anything else, Blake? Before I
No, go ahead. No, we're good. Yeah.
The floor is yours, Cade.
okay, before I get to the teed up question, do you think Jackson races like a mini Knoxville?
Hard to tell because the track was pretty one lane most of the night, didn't really get up. And then the A main, we kind of more me than anything. Once I kind of went a lap down, I kind of just was trying to bring the car home and just get laps. And I was moved around a little bit here and there, but I just wasn't trying to go crazy and like junk a race car my second night on the job. But I mean, it's definitely somewhat similar. I will say that like this, it's kind of the same feel in a way. It's just all happening a lot faster because it is smaller. But it was kind of hard to tell because it was still pretty heavy. But I know talking to Ian, Ian's been a great help. He's been down at the shop talking to me. We've watched a little bit of film together. He told me to call him if I ever needed anything, gave me his number. Ian, hopefully he gets a speedy recovery, but he's been definitely a part of this and teaching me and kind of explaining things to me and just making sure that I'm comfortable and I have confidence going into the race weekend. And we talked about whenever Jackson got super slick, that's one thing he said that's different from Knoxville, from Jackson, is Jackson doesn't really build up a curb until you're like on the fence and like it has nowhere else to run. It's like it's pretty dusty. It's not a lot of there's not a lot to grab onto. There's nothing like Knoxville, like you saw at Nationals. There's a big tall curb. You couldn't smack up against it, otherwise you'd be in trouble. But you had something to lean into. You know, it wasn't just dust or just moisture. It wasn't just flat. It would build a curb up. But Jackson, it does not do that.
It's pretty cool hearing that about Ian, because especially with the ride changes and stuff like that we've seen, like it'd probably be easy to just be like, yeah, you go figure it out. But I think that says a lot about him. I think we are going to talk to him in the wintertime as well. I chatted with Ian a little bit at the Nationals, so that'll be cool to catch up with him.
Yeah, and another thing about Ian being involved, like whenever I was little, I'll tell a little bit of story time here. It was me and my cousin Dax, and we went down to get it up, just going around getting autographs, whatever. And Ian ran out. He's one of the last guys we went to, and he was out. So he ran all the way to the Pizza Hut parking lot, and then walked all the way back, and just grab some more fan cards because basically everyone had left, but he was just sitting there. I think they won that night too, and yeah, he came back and gave me and my cousin both Dax and the cards and signed them. And yeah, I've been an Ian Matson fan ever since, man. It's pretty cool to get to talk to him and have him kind of coach me up through this whole racetrack change and just kind of starting to travel out. He's definitely been a pretty good coach so far.
Yeah, one with the World of Outlaws, been up and down the road with him, Knoxville champion. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool story too, especially with how good you are with the fans. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
great.
All right, teed up question time.
Teed
What's
up
the rest of
question time. Here we
2025 look like?
All right, so after Knoxville in the 2KS car, we will go to Huset's that next weekend, and then there's that 3-day show at Huset's. We'll go hit that as well. With I think one's a regular night, then the other two are outlaw events.
Yeah.
But the Bull Haulers Brawl, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then we go to Cedar Lake twice with the IRA bumper to bumper. Then we go to Donaldson with Power I. And then we wrap up for what's on the schedule for right now. It's just kind of where my cutoff is for now. And then I think that's when Ian gets reevaluated. So, I mean, hopefully Ian gets speedy recovery so he can get back behind the wheel and or in general, just be healthy again. It sucks when you see a fellow driver go out there and get hurt, and it's just, you just don't like to see it. It's just not good for the sport. I mean, makes everyone kind of on edge, and I just hopefully he gets back healthy soon. Hopefully everything gets cleared. And then we wrap up with Jackson. I think Troy said it was Jackson Nationals, if I'm not mistaken, for 2 nights.
So
Sounds
you
about
got,
right.
I mean, Huset's is on iRacing, can get a couple laps there. Cedar Lake can get a couple. What are you most excited for in that little stint there?
To be honest with you, I think Cedar Lake is going to be the most cool because it's wide, high bank. You can carry a lot of speed. We're super racy whenever it gets super slick. I think that place is going to be pretty sweet.
And the IRA is fun. Like, that's a really competitive.
Yeah, there's a
series.
lot of everyone there is like super even, and they just race each other so hard. It just puts on great racing. Like I enjoy watching a lot of their stuff, and yeah, it'll definitely be fun for sure.
So when you need to practice at Cedar Lake in Houston, let Blake and I know. We'll fire up the old sim rigs and
I'll be a back
we'll turn
marker.
some
I'll be a
laps.
lap car for you if you need
Kane needs to get back in the saddle.
I know.
Yeah. We've been talking to him about that for a while. We'll see if that
Get back
happens.
on the sim.
I don't know if that's happening. And then you said you have something surprise. Obviously, we don't have to say anything now, but you got something planned for the 17 this week here in Knoxville, or something.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it on the down low though.
No, that's fine. That's
just
fine.
give us something to poof,
That's
you
fine.
know, one way to end up championship night.
While we're on it,
So-
I mean, it's August. Sorry, Josh, just real quick. I mean, do you wish the Knoxville season was longer? I think. Are you in that boat? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also love Knoxville, but I also want to get out and run in these other tracks. That's for sure. So it's kind of bittersweet. Like I love Knoxville, but it's good that it's over, so I can go focus on other places and not worry where like, oh, I got Knoxville this weekend. You know, I can go out and run the Cedar Lake, Donaldson, all those tracks, and just try and learn as much as possible in that period of time.
Would you have been done after season championship in the 17 car, or did you guys have other plans?
We were kind of undecided. Me and Nathan and Dad kind of had to sit down. We wanted to see how many nights we had left, or how many laps we had left on the engine, and see how much money we had left. That was the biggest thing, is how much money we had left for tires, fuel. I mean, if something does break, like if we went out and crashed something, we would be done after that. But it's at a risk we want to take with only having one car left, besides the 360 car. We probably weren't going to, especially with after hurting the ego. Probably just buckle down, regroup, and get ready for next year.
Well, Jack's got nothing better to do, so he's going to join us for the actual show here. So I don't know how much of a race fan you are, Jack, but we're going to kind of talk about all that's happened in the last week, because
It's been a pretty quiet week. Yeah, not a lot
Nothing's happened.
You know, I feel like
I got some insider information. I'm just going to hint at that. I do have a little bit of inside information. Well,
Oh boy.
for when we get to it, whenever.
for when we get to it, yes.
Okay. Well, I just
time.
wanted to say, like, it's amazing. This is one of the crazier silly seasons that we've seen, and it feels like this is going to become the trend that after nationals, if you ain't performing well, that might be it. Like you might be done. So silly season is that's about as big as it gets.
Let's see if we get a reaction there. Tony Bachhofen is asking if Johnny Lightning is going to be back in the 17A one more time.
I don't know.
Gonna have to, you know where to be, Tony.
Can't say anything. Can't say anything.
Can lightning strike twice? I don't know. Can it? We'll see. Can lightning strike twice?
Oh, that's great.
Have to wait and see. See you on Saturday. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about some of our winners. We had Knoxville regulars pick up a couple wins here this past week. Dustin Selvage, first of all, they debuted nine or eight heat race winner stickers on the back tail tank.
Good Lord.
So that is fun. I don't know. It was probably Dennis's idea, but his
Of
tail
course.
tank now, because High Limit has their winner stickers, so they decided to put like all of his wins, heat wins on it. And then Dustin Selvage goes out and beats the Malvern Bank field at Moberly in Adams County. So a huge shout out to Dustin Selvage. Those are his first wins with DGRD. He had won last year, obviously, at Burlington, but that was not with DGRD. Dustin still got it, man. I know his wife made jokes about the car counts in each race, but that doesn't matter. Wins are wins, man. It's good to see Dustin Selvage in victory lane, and they've been better. This back half of the season, I feel like they have been faster. So it was no surprise that Dustin gets back to victory lane.
Yeah, and the dude had to run the top, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure Megan was pumped about that.
Yeah, I mean, really cool. Have you had many interactions with Dustin, Jack?
Oh yeah, for sure. Dad and Dustin used to race all the time back in the day, and I remember watching this year with whenever Goodnow picked up his win. I mean, Dusty was sailing that thing around the boards. Like, he was wide open, not lifting, getting that thing up in the fluff. Like, he was in checkers or wreckers mode for sure, and he was Schwenk's got that guy some confidence. Tell you what, because Dad even said, he's like, I have not seen Dusty run the top like that, and God knows when. And yeah, they're meshing together very, very well, it seems like, and definitely catching on speed. And I feel like Dusty enjoys the shorter tracks more as well. So I feel, and just the different style tracks other than Knoxville, I feel like he enjoys that more. But yeah, I'm super pumped for Dusty. That's definitely awesome to go out and win 2 this weekend.
There was some fun post-race tweets from him, from the family, which are always really fun reads.
Phenomenal stuff. Happy for him and that crew. DGRD's had a good year. I mean, getting to victory lane. So I'm excited to see what happens here if they decide to keep running here a little bit after Knoxville. Chris Martin went to victory lane with Power Eye. Jack, you obviously saw it firsthand. Clearly, car must have been tuned up. And I know Cam has had a lot of success the last couple of weeks, but Chris has still been wheeling it. That's his second win overall this season, but good win for Chris. What was the track kind of like, Jack? Kind of give us a walk through that.
Like I said, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but super heavy in 3 and 4 with a big hole going into 3. And from center off in 1 and 2, it was just gut slick. Like, it was hard to get off the top. Like, I mean, you could hit it, but it was just, like, if you tried to come off it early, you'd be out to lunch and rolling the tires off it. But man, Chris was just dialed in. That thing was just, he was gone. Like, within the first couple laps, he was out of sight, and I'm like, okay, well, unless we get a caution, it's going to be trying to race for second and race up with all these boys. But yeah, for sure, he looked super good, and even for the track being super heavy, but it was wide, and that banking, you can still get around the top, and the bottom was super juiced up, and you could kind of just move everywhere. And like 2nd through 6, like honestly, through me with me and Ayrton there, 5th and 6th, like it was super racy. We were kind of all like on top of each other. I mean, Tammy wasn't too happy that the broadcast only showed Chris the whole time. Well, we were all racing it up, but yeah, it was definitely different Lakeside than you've seen like some of the high limit shows and some of those Power Eye races there in the past. But it was still definitely a blast, and I'm sure he was having a blast because he was just checked out, dude.
Absolutely,
it's pretty cool. Our dude JJ got a podium with him as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ayrton, I just wanted to throw it out there. Ayrton was having a good run last night. I don't know where Power Eye was, but apparently the flag man threw double white flags, and that did not help Ayrton Jennington. So he dropped a little bit, and he was not happy on social media, and I think for good reason. Dude's in the middle of a championship battle. Like, I mean, he's right there, I think, with Joe B. Miller battling for the Power Eye championship. So mistakes like that really can't happen.
No, I think it's like, what do you say, like an 80 or 90 point difference. So
I mean,
hopefully that doesn't.
He said it went from like 100 to 10.
Oh boy, because I knew it was 40 going into the night at Lakeside, and me, him, and Hank Davis were talking while we were looking at the track before the races started. He's pretty stressed out about it. Like he's confident in his guys and his team and himself, but he's like, just how things get when you get close, in points or whatever. I mean, like I've felt that way this year, trying to claw my way back up with all the DNFs not helping, and kind of got more stressed out more every week, trying to fall into a top 10 points finish. And he's ready for the points lead with Joe B. And Joe B's he's a very, very good shoe. So I'm sure it's a lot more stressful racing for the top spot.
Yeah, it's just hard to have that happen. I mean, that's just a really tough situation. There was obviously miscommunication there between the track and the flagman, but I think he was 5th or 4th, and then he dropped back to 8th. So points are points, man. Always a tough time.
Yeah, not good.
Did you get to watch your buddy Gage Polkerbeck wheel it last night at Huset's, Jack?
No, I got to watch the rerun. I did, but oh wow, was he sending that thing around the board? He was not messing around. Yeah, he's like, I'll take your air here, I'll take your air there, out the way. Like he was on the gas, and he looked really, really good.
A P2 finish. Yeah, P2 finish for Gage Polkerbeck. Ryan Timms gets the victory. It's Tim's 11th 410 win of the season. That puts him second most. Chipping away at the points lead. I haven't looked at the points for Huset's. I don't know if Josh has. I think Josh will in a second, but it was 30 last night before the race. Caleb was leading, but Timms is chipping away. I don't know.
24.
Down to 24. So, I mean, there's still time, but he's going to have to really make up a little bit. But Gage, man. Gage Polkerbeck by half a tenth got to second. And you know what? We talked about it probably on our stage show or something.
Yes,
whatever we did back. But like for Gage, not only just to make the redraw was big, but first of all, he almost wrecked it in 3 and 4. So he almost wrecked it in 3 and 4. Was able to keep it rolling. But like for him, best career finish for him, and he didn't drop. Like he started 4th. He went forward in the feature. it's a big momentum booster for him. And it seems like he's slowly but surely figuring it out and clearly found something last night.
Yeah, I mean, even at Jackson on Saturday, so I got a really, really good start, and I ended up like right behind Carey, and I got by Gage, and like he drove that thing halfway up over the berm and slid right up across my nose, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go to war, and then he kind of got away from me there a little bit when I was trying to run the bottom, and just didn't feel the greatest early because everyone's tight when it's that heavy, and then I felt like we were starting to get back to that racing it up point. We were starting to race it up again, and yeah, something broke on his car, and. Yeah, but he was definitely, he told me he had a blast racing with me. And then, but he was on the gas Friday night for sure. And then, Saturday night, Dad called me after the races were over. And he's like, you might want to go watch the rerun. And I rewatched it and I'm like, oh my Lord, this kid is on the gas. He's looked like that's the best he's looked, I think, ever at Huset's. I mean, he's had speed in the past, don't get me wrong. But like, he's never been able to like really put a full race together. I feel like something's broke or he's made a mistake where he's got caught up in someone else's stuff, and that's just kind of how Huset's is. So it's pretty cool to see him go put one night together and have a really, really great finish.
Just goes to show like confidence, how that can build up over time. I mean, even with you guys are really young, and like who you're racing against in the top level of sprint car racing. I think it's easy to gloss over and just make generalizations, as fans. So that was a cool night for him.
Yeah, very cool. And the track was really weird. I had never seen it like that before, Kate. I don't know about you. Like really kicked up on the berm. Like I had never seen that before at Huset's. I don't know if it was the heat or what, but even Tim said it. He's like, what a weird track.
Yeah, and you saw Scott Winters driving the fence because there was like no top up there, and Tim's about did it right in front of him too. It was nuts. But going back to Gage, he had to do the old Days of Thunder, I don't want you spoiled, Buck, because he was holding the car up with the wing while they were trying to give him an interview in Victory Lane last night.
He had no left rear tire. So, yeah, it's awesome. Good run for Gage. The news wire, in terms of driver news, we have so much to talk about. I just wanted to touch on this one real quick. Jamie Ball is done for the 2025 season. I just kind of pulled up his Facebook post here. Quote, he said, after careful consideration and the medical advice of his doctor, Dr. Jose Hernandez, we'll be parking the 4W for the remainder of the 2025 season. As much as I want to be behind the wheel, my health must come first. And he also talked about his family, obviously his wife and his daughter. Obviously, we've talked about it all year, Cade and Josh. Jamie got to Victory Lane early and thought, all right, title defense is right there. But boy, just not the year he was looking for. And has had some tough wrecks. I mean, obviously had that issue with half of his body. He couldn't feel half of his body. And he's been fighting back through that. But you wonder, that wreck during 410 Nationals was just another tough wreck. And if that was just kind of the nail in the coffin, you're just like, all right, just take a break. We can rest and move on.
Yeah, and it's hard enough to keep going when you're having a shit year like that. But when half your body's asleep, yeah, that's really tough. Honestly, I think, like you said, Blake, that 410 Nationals crash was probably the nail in the coffin. But I guess you can't blame the guy for it. He's been very open about the issues he's been having with his health, and got a fairly new baby hanging around too. So definitely priority time for him, I think.
That's what I was going to say. We've talked about it plenty. Priorities, racing is not as much as you'd like it to be. For people not racing for a living, it's not your number one priority, and it sucks. He was 6th in points, so he might drop down close to almost out of the top 10 maybe. So
it'll be
close because I can't think of off the top of my head what you guys can earn in a single night. But hopefully he can be back and ready to go, at the beginning of next year, because this was definitely not the year that they were hoping for, trying to defend the championship.
Jack,
Go ahead, Blake.
I was just going to say, I mean, he talks about being sore a lot in that post and that he's just beat up. You're young. Obviously, you've been through now wrestling and football throughout high school. What does kind of the next day look like for you when you've had these wrecks, and how quick are you able to recover here at just 18?
Well, my first one, that was my bad one at Bloomfield. That one really messed me up. I had a very good concussion from that one, and couldn't, like, in the shop the next morning, I was trying to pound the bars out of the front tubes, or what was left of them. And Dad came down the shop and yelled my name, and I had to just rotate my whole body because, like, it's just so tender, like in the neck area, especially even with these Hans devices that definitely help for sure. It's just like it'll hurt, like when you take those hard ones. And he has had some hammer crashes this year, dude. Like it's been like every single one he's had. I don't think he's had like a nice one, honestly. Every single one he's had has been like a super hard ride. And yeah, I just hopefully he gets healed up, like for sure. I feel like it just sucks when you see someone that wants to sit out because they just get banged up. I kind of know how he feels, and like from like my wrestling aspect, like you said, like when you get like you have a nagging injury, like I had my knee deal where I tore 75% tear in my meniscus like a week before senior night. That sucks because you're a month out from districts. There's nothing you can do. You basically just strap a brace on, tape it up, and go out there and do your best. And it's a lot different whenever you're driving a 900 horsepower beast. That's life and death. Like if something bad happens, like God forbid something bad happens, you could really get yourself hurt. And I feel like if he, like what he's saying is like having those half your body being numb, like it's not smart. He's gonna be a family man. Like you gotta have priorities for sure. And like I just hope, praying for Jamie Mannon as well as Ian, just everyone that's banged up right now to get all healed up and be back ready to go for next season or later this season.
Yeah, well said. Another one that kind of went under the radar, Scott Boguski, obviously before Nationals, him and the Giddings Motorsports team, the 78, they split. They didn't do anything for Nationals. Giddings did not come back. Scott was there, apparently, but they did not do anything. And Scott filled in with the Three Stooges Racing in the 51 car. I think Joel Myers Jr. was in that car, I believe, earlier.
Yes, he was for Nationals, yes.
Yep, yeah, so... and he almost won. He
looked really good.
Bloomington was literally cruising, was going to win, and then a flat right rear tire took out Scott. But seemed, I think he put a post about it on social media. I think he was in pretty high spirits. Scott's a wheel man. I mean, he is a wheel man. He's won at Knoxville here. He can drive the car. If you haven't, go check out our podcast with him earlier in the season. Josh and I had a chance to sit with him, and he's a wheelman. Put him in a car, he's going to perform well. And obviously it stinks, situation like that, but it seems like he's found a little bit of footing here.
And he put together a top 10. I'm trying to pull it up. I think he may have gotten like 7th or 8th in the next All-Star race. That was the night after that. So yeah, it'll be fun. I think it sounds like he's going to be in that for the rest of this year. So
Sweet.
It'll be fun to watch and see how he performs.
Good to see it. Good to see it.
Yeah, Scott. That guy definitely stands on the gas. He's one of the crazier ones out there. He kind of lets it all hang out, and so we got our engine off of Scott, and when we had that problem earlier in the year when we hadn't even turned a lap in it, broke doing engine, he flipped the bill on it. He paid for it, even though we could have very well said, "It's your guys' problem. You guys paid for it. Not my problem." Yeah, very stand-up guy. Shows I have a lot of respect for Scott for him doing that, and just shows how there are people in the racing world that really do care about, like they have an honor system. Like they don't just if something broke, whatever. But yeah, he definitely stepped up and he paid for it. And yeah, all the respect to Scott that he's a hell of a wheelman and pretty respectful guy too. And he's got some of the best stories I've ever heard in my entire life. So I always enjoy getting to talk to Scott. He's hilarious. Always can put a smile on my face when I've had a bad night. That's for sure.
He's a good dude. Probably the biggest silly season news we have seen, at least in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, probably ever. Donny Schatz and Tony Stewart Racing parted ways on Tuesday, August 12th. Donny obviously had just made his 27th straight Knoxville Nationals, but it was just kind of kind of there. He has not won a race this year. That's another streak that could be in jeopardy. And it sure sounds like, boys, this was not a good relationship the last couple months. Justin Fiedler had reported on it, that somebody else had talked about it in many of the interviews he has done. Tony and Donny have not talked. Donny has not been happy. He's just kind of been miserable driving the car. And you could see that in a couple of his interviews. They're just frustrated. Even when he finished second a couple months ago somewhere, he's like, we're just not there. It has not been the year that they have looked for. And for all of the success and all the championships that they've had, the fact that this happened midway through the season was really interesting. A lot of people thought that this was it for Tony Stewart Racing, that he was going to close the doors. But if that was the case, why would you fire him and then hire another guy? Tony has said publicly that's not happening. We're sticking around in the sport. There's obviously been so many people against it just because of all that he's done with drag racing and whatnot, but it sounds like it's here to stay. Just touching on it quickly, they tapped Kerry Matson to hop in the car. Sounds like that probably is sticking around till the end of the year, roughly. But
The
Kerry's
exception of this weekend. So it will be interesting to see who jumps into this
he is
weekend.
not in it this week because of Knoxville finishing out stuff with Vermeer. So yeah, I mean, just really weird. So then Donny goes on the open market and everyone's like, all right, what's going to happen? Because not only is this streak of outlaw races, which I don't think Donny cares about the streaks, but it's just like he has this streak of all these outlaw races he's been in. Points are another big thing. And then Big Game Motorsports, which I did not think was going to happen. Like of all possibilities, I did not have Big Game Motorsports stepping up. And Todd Quiring said, all right, we'll get you in. Cody Jacobs is going to crew chief both cars. He hops in the 15 car. They let him keep the 15. Tony Stewart Racing sticks with the 15 as well. And he goes out and crashes. Lap one of the feature at Ogilvy. And then they can't repair the car. So then Dave Lunstra steps up and says, all right, I'll give you my car. So he runs the Lunstra car at Jackson, finishes 10th. And then literally just as we were about to hit record on this podcast, it comes up that they cannot repair the car for the big game car. So he will drive Lunstra's car, but it will have backing from Todd Quiring, ShopHoustonSpeedway.com, and he will finish out this Midwest swing, and then who knows what happens. But let's just go around the room here. Josh, we'll start with you. This is unprecedented. This is unbelievable. Donny Schatz is the best of the game, and now he's going around like the Squidward meme, spare change, spare change. He just needs something. I mean, not that that's the thing, but I mean, just an unbelievable scenario that he's just going to be bouncing around cars now, it seems like, till at least 2026.
The end of this year is going to be really weird just because we've already seen him in two different cars and who knows what could be coming the rest of the year.
What's this thing going to look like? I'm in awe. What's this thing going to look like? Green, orange.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good point. Yeah.
What is this thing going to look like?
Acres away ag and Shop Houston's on it.
Something's going to have to change. Yeah. Cause they're, the Leinster green, but then Shop Houston's is not green. So,
that'll be an ugly car if they decide to keep
it.
Oh man.
I mean, I was just going to say, we've kind of heard that there was rumblings of this the last few years, that this was bubbling under the surface, but nothing really ever came out. And Jeremy Elliott and Kyle McFadden both had really good interviews with Donny and also with Tony talking about things. And, they've had a hell of a lot of success. And I mean, what'd they say? 8 championships, however many Knoxville Nationals. I mean, they've really accomplished everything you could together. And it was, not the best way for things to end, but all good things must come to an end. So, be interesting. There's a lot of opportunities, I think, out there for people looking for one of the greatest sprint car drivers of all time to jump in. Cade, what are you thinking?
I mean, you kind of had to see it coming as far as like a performance-based like schedule they run. Obviously, we didn't really expect it right after the Knoxville Nationals, but I think it might have been you and I, Josh. We were kind of talking about how that makes sense because you have the whole rest of this season to gel with your new guy that's going to start driving next year, and then you start off on the right foot already, hopefully.
We've been hearing that from a couple different drivers and teams this year that have made the changes.
Yeah, and I'm really shocked that Donny's in the revolving door and doesn't have like a solid.
Insane.
It's crazy.
But what's really open too? Like you don't really have that many high level cars that are open and ready to go on the Outlaw Tour.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jack?
I believe if all else fails, little birdie told me that if all else fails and the deal with Lunstra doesn't work out, and now we know for sure that the deal with Houston is definitely going to be changed. He might get back in that car. He might not. If they do get it fixed, who knows? Who knows what they'll string together. All else fails, he might get into the girls' cars and they have engines. They have, I think, 4. I don't know if they'll hang with they got the big half miles, but like they'll definitely be enough to snort around some of these 3/8s and bigger 3/8s, smaller 3/8s, whatever. Quarter mile, like all the smaller tracks they go to, and maybe some of the medium tracks, I'd say. I feel like if all else fails, he'll end up in those cars or take a few of them. and they'll kind of put the back burner on the girl stuff, and they might just focus on the late models.
That's always been in the back of my head too. That
Yeah,
there's that option as well, and I don't think he'd probably have an issue finding a good motor either. I think he probably knows a couple.
Oh
of people.
no, 100%. I mean, it's Donny Schatz. I mean,
Right.
the goat. The
I
goat.
see-
Controversial, but the goat. Who's gonna tell the goat no?
In your lifetime, absolutely. I don't
Yeah.
think it's.
Oh yeah,
it's
100% my
undisputed.
life. The goat. Straight up
Yeah.
goat.
In Jack and I's life, I mean,
Yeah.
it is that way.
I mean, we're
Oh,
teetering
Josh
on my
Olin?
lifetime. Honestly, I mean, even in my
well,
life, I mean,
Josh
Donnie's
is in his
been
30s.
kicking
I mean,
it.
he did experience a little bit of kinship.
I am.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's right there.
Love you
Just
guys
fall
too.
right there, right? In the
Yeah,
middle.
Kate's like right there in the middle.
Oh boy.
The thing is like everybody has their theories about what happens, but I mean, for us around Knoxville, I think we can be a little excited about how this could go. Obviously, his daughters, Layla and Amelia, they're very
Nieces.
good, and obviously that
Nieces.
team. What did I say?
You said
Daughters.
daughters, nieces.
Oh, sorry, nieces. Sorry.
First day.
But they're very talented. I think that goes
They
a
are.
long ways. He tested in that Guy Forbrook car. I know it was just a test just to help Guy out, but I know that car's open. That car will be open. It's not going to run this year. That's not happening. But that car will be open next year. So it's just a matter of what Donny wants to do. I have a feeling Donny can go wherever he really wants in a way. I mean, he said in that one video, he's like, the phone has been off the hook. He's never spent more time on the phone than he has in this last week. People calling and just saying, hey, we'd love to get you in. He can go wherever he wants. Does he still want to be on the Outlaw Tour? Who knows? I mean, I think realistically,
The more he's talked, I get the feel that he does.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. But there's a lot of theories, man. And this Midwest swing is big for him because he's in very good equipment. The Leinster car is very strong. We saw that with Darren Pittman and obviously with Donny, and these are his tracks that he'll be coming to here. The West Coast swing, things get interesting. What could happen out on the West Coast when the Outlaws go out there? I don't see him running high limit stuff. I mean, nothing against that. He's never been a high limit guy. I don't think he's going to go run a high limit race. But yeah, the door's wide open, man.
Maybe he's at Knoxville this weekend driving a car. Who knows?
Yeah, you never
Maybe
He's in the
17A.
17A. You heard it here first. No, that'd be sick.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I've kind of started, the end of last week, before the racing actually got going, I was kind of like, man, I don't know. This feels like Donny could maybe just kind of ride off into the sunset if he wanted to. But Kate, I don't know about you. He seems like he is freaking ready to go prove some people wrong.
Mad.
Yeah, and that honestly, that's scary. And he looked pretty damn good in the orange 15, and then was pretty good at Jackson in the green 15. So
He's
Yeah,
still
maybe I
hungry. I can
And
guarantee you that. He's still
everybody
hungry.
can talk smack about him being old and wanting to retire, dude. That lit a fire under his ass like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah.
keep saying it then. I don't see him.
I mean, nothing. And poor Kerry Madsen, like all the expectations on Kerry are like, hey, man, you got to beat this guy. Unfortunately, you have to outrun Donny every single chance you get, every chance you have.
I think that's going to go well too. Like
Yeah.
I think
it's
they've
great.
had.
I wish it was in the 14 personally.
Yeah,
I wish they would just go back to the 14. But Kerry with TSR. I mean, who knows how long it'll last? But it's a great pairing.
I think it is for the rest of the year, except for Knoxville, if I read correctly. So, I mean, they won a handful of races, I think, together when he was in the 14 before. And, Kerry can still get it done. And, he's looked a lot better this year than he has here recently. And it's a good guy to have in that car to kind of shake it down and actually get an idea of where things really are at, besides hearing the same voice that he had for what it was, 18 years.
Jack, who's going to run the 15 next year for Tony Stewart?
Man.
Kate Higday.
Yeah. That's a hard one for sure.
A lot of names.
There's a lot of guys that I feel like are gonna be open. I just maybe
Would you leave your car to
I was
go
gonna
to
say,
that?
Justin
Also, if
Bieber
you're
made it sound
Yeah.
like guys might leave their really good cars to go run the 15.
I mean, as how it sounds, like that team is kind of in shambles at the moment. Like they're having, what's the word? They're just they're not meshing. People aren't meshing well. Like I've heard of crew guys are at each other. Donnie's with, then the crew guys are at each other. Tony, and like it's just a whole like fiasco here. Like no one's getting along, no one's having fun, and it's hard to be fast when you're not having fun. That's one of the main things that like I feel like whenever we're like having a really really bad night at the track or no one's getting along, we run bad. If we're all like smiles all around, and like I'm not saying we're not taking it serious, it's just like we're just in decent moods and not trying to kill each other. Yeah, we run pretty good. I feel like Spencer Basin could be a candidate for that car. They're kind of in like an identity crisis. Everyone's kind of Spencer kind of not saying he struggled. He had glimpses in that 14 car, but you got Corey Day, and I feel like Spencer kind of just needs a do-over. You know, like
kind of like the TSR team needs. Like they kind of need a fresh, clean start.
Yeah, they need a fresh start. I feel like Spencer Basin needs a clean start. I think that if they got the right group of guys together, Spencer Basin could go out and win all kinds of races. Like it's different. It's weird with him. Like one weekend, like he's lights out. He looks like he's one of the best guys on the tour, and then like they just struggle. But I feel like there's no doubt in my mind Spencer Basin can go out and compete week in week out on a national tour. They have to get the right guys together, and everyone has to get along, mesh well, able to work with each other. You know, all the above. And I feel like he can go out and win a lot of races.
Yeah.
It's funny. You'd think that this guy had our notes right in front of him. He
gonna
doesn't, because Spencer Basin is right up next.
I just wanted to touch quickly. I love Donny's fire suit. From
yeah, he's an artist. That is an artist.
On World of Outlaws.
Oh yeah,
that was so good.
It reminded me of the Benchwarmers birth certificate. I am 12.
I am 12.
I wanted to find it looked like in the old NASCAR games when you used to create a character and you could design your fire suit and you didn't have any sponsors, so it was just that. That's what it looked like.
It was weird seeing Donny in a completely blank suit.
We were on our way to Lakeside, and Joe turned around and was like freaking out, and like it just looks so weird. Like it just looks so wrong.
Yeah,
it's weird. It tripped me out.
CarQuest, like none of the sponsors were with him. They were all TSR sponsors. So CarQuest, like all these sponsors, like just crazy. And I will say the merch situation for all this is very weird. Like they still have his merch trailer. They were selling his merch like 25% off. They said there was going to be merch of the Houston's car that will be here this week, but now the Houston's car is like not really kind of there.
Collector's items right there, Blake. Better get your order in.
I think I said somewhere, whoever got that top wing or whoever got the panels off that wing from the Racket Ogilvy.
Oh my Lord, they're
going to hold on to those things. Those things are going to be insanely rare if they gave them away. But I doubt they just gave them away.
Oh,
but still,
yeah,
insane situation. The logistics of it all is just unbelievable. And we wish the best for Donny going forward. Jack talked about Spencer Basin. Obviously, Jason Myers has moved forward with Corey Day. Sounds like someone might go in the car when Corey's not in it. We're not really sure.
I think they have to, right? Because they're fighting for that franchise.
Yeah. And that was the thing. Like, Fiedler talked about that. We're not really sure what a franchise is worth with High Limit yet, but I don't think they want to figure that out. So someone's going to be in the 14 car throwing in here at Donny Schatz maybe for the West Coast. I'm not saying it's a possibility, but definitely the car's open.
I would be shocked.
But again, High Limit, that whole thing is he just would not run High Limit unless he puts that past him and wants to run it. But anyway, Kevin Kozlowski, his car, that Works Unlimited car, that has been run by a lot of guys on the West Coast. Paul Silva's the crew chief. They pick up Spencer Basin, and boys, he's run top 5 in both his races so far. Kate, I'll start with you. Is it the driver or is it the car? I think it's a combination of both because I truly believe Spencer Basin's a good race car driver. It's just he has found something, and I think you talked about it earlier. A driver drives really different when he's got a fire lit under his ass.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. And honestly, that is definitely a combo between him and Paul. Everybody knows Paul's super successful and a freaking wizard about race cars, but you still have to have a guy that drives it. And Spencer's had some success out west before too, so I wasn't really shocked to see it. But definitely, I'm sure he had a little extra heat under the cheeks when when Corey Day drove around him for the lead. I'm sure that really pissed him off.
And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if whatever he does next, if he is really successful, especially compared to what he's done here the last few years, because he was almost put into like a no-win situation, filling the shoes of Corey Day. Like that's a freaking impossible task. Like we talked about it last week as well. He is a good race car driver. He's a USAC champion. he knows how to get it done. And yeah, hopefully we can see him getting a good ride and get some good success as well.
Yeah, I imagine he goes out and wins one of these silver dollar races or Skagit. That'll really help him. But he's made mistakes. I mean, you can tell there's been slight mistakes that he's had. And he said him. He's like, the driver just wasn't good there. But ironically, it's been Corey Day that's been his main competition here the first 2 nights. And we'll talk about those races here in a little bit. But
Blake, you talked about who could fill in the 14. I think this is a person. Caleb Montgomery could be one that.
hot
talk
take.
about Caleb Montgomery here in a second. Yeah, that was unbelievable. We'll start out with Friday, Ogilvie, excuse me. Really fun track. Like the facilities seemed really nice. I think they were sold out. Really nice little track. Bill Baylog and Carson Macedo battled early, but Macedo got the best of him. Macedo's now won 2 of the last 3 races at Ogilvie. Up to that point, he had led like 48 of the 50 laps or something in the first 2. Some guys just get a track. And I tell you what, Macedo's starting to get things rolling here as of late. We'll talk about Jackson, but the 41's starting to move here. Obviously very good at nationals. They might have turned a corner here toward the end of the season.
Man,
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be like with the points, I know like he's second in points, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be third. Is he third?
Buddy,
Oh,
yeah, Buddy's still
who's in
second.
second?
Yep. Buddy's
Oh, wow.
168 behind gravel.
Okay.
Macedo's 220 back.
Okay, I need to pay attention more, I guess. Jesus. But like, I mean, it's always great when you can get out a big streak, and put together obviously 2. We'll get into it, but 2 great runs in a row. I mean, almost picture perfect, and yeah, it's just gonna be tough cookie to try and. I mean, second it's gonna be tough too because Buddy, he's a hammer and he's gonna be super good out in Cali. I feel like it's more in like his wheelhouse. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough cookie to get to second and get to the. He's gonna have to have a lot of stuff go his way and a lot of stuff not go David and Buddy's way. That's for sure.
High Limit went to Tulare on Friday. Corey Day and Spencer Baston. Spencer Baston goes quick time. I think that was probably the big, like, okay, the dude's, he's got it. I mean, the car's fast.
In the W.
In the W. Yeah. How about that? In the letter W. Because the guys were calling it number W, and they're like, you can't say that. It's letter W. And then Giovanni Selzi was right there as well. Gio has been really fun to watch in that 7BC. He's going to win one of these races. He is so fast. The track is awesome. Tulare is one of the better tracks, Thunder Bowl, technically, as the name is. I will say this is a little bit of a rant here for a second. This race was really good. Lap traffic is what makes these California races really good. And it was like 9 to go. Corey was going to catch lap traffic, and you just never know in lap traffic. And these kids, like probably 5 or 6 of them, there's a podium at the foot of the grandstands where the start-finish line is. These kids just went up there and stood on the podium during the race and put their hands against the fence. And High Limit had to call the caution because there was, I mean, you can't. It's a safety thing. And then that ruined the race because there was no more lap traffic. Corey Day just got away easy. Corey probably would have won anyway, but it's just the fact of lap traffic. A lot of discourse on social media against the kids. It's like, okay, if, kids are kids. I think it was the parents of the kids that you're like, come on, dude. Like that cannot happen. That just really ruined my night when I saw that happen. And I refrained on social media, but I knew I could talk about it on the show. And I'm very disappointed with the California parents of those kids.
Got to get them like on the child leashes, like a child harness and a child leash. It's like tie them up at the bottom of the grandstands. Oh yeah,
it was so frustrating. I'm so glad we technically don't really have to deal with that at Knoxville, but like, man, that was so frustrating to watch. Does anybody else have any thoughts about that?
I mean, honestly, it's just like, it's like if you interfere with like a baseball game or something like that, honestly, you should probably get escorted out. Like you're impeding
or not.
Yeah, you're impeding the entertainment that's going on. Like that's because it's a very, very big safety issue. We've already seen that crash with, what was it, a late model or street stock or something that crashed through the fence. Like you could really get seriously injured or worse. So it is a little funny. It's very serious, Blake, as well.
Yes, it is. But in a way, it is kind of funny, but it's not funny.
It's not. Yeah, don't do that. Don't be those people.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have that video you guys sent in the group chat of that mud cover going flying at freaking 9,000 miles an hour. that place didn't have a curb, surely a mud cover wouldn't go flying, right?
Yeah, and also too, not to throw too much shade here, but where there should be some officials or somebody kind of monitoring for that too.
That was also
or
really weird. Like nobody went up to the kids and was like, "Hey, you should sit
some
back."
type of
Probably
a
shouldn't
security
do
or
that.
something. Yeah. And maybe that's something to consider. Racetracks going forward. Like maybe you got to have somebody there monitoring just in case there's a situation. You have a drunk fan that, unlike not a kid, you have a drunk fan that is belligerent and doing
I
stuff
know
like that.
Burlington's pretty good about it. Burlington, it's pretty easy because you got that whole concrete pad. Like, why wouldn't you stand there? But you can't. So they're usually pretty good about staying on top of it. But I think the race was so good, none of the fans wanted to get up from their seat to go get the kids. So it was like just kind of a really bad situation. But yeah, but Corey Day ended up winning. Just California, man. Corey Day at California Gold Cup. He is going to be really tough to beat. I think it'd be 3 in a row for him. So fun to watch. Jack kind of gave us an explanation here about Jackson. Carson Macedo just dominated. Really, the one lane track just kind of really didn't help it out. Logan Schuhart and Bill Baylog were right there. And yeah, Jack, you said it, just really wasn't the track surface that you needed. Really didn't even get that high up. I mean, it still felt like everybody was on the bottom most of the night.
Yeah, it was so hard to pass, and Dirty Air was evil, and it's a whole kind of different Dirty Air, like it's more right rear. Like at Knoxville, I feel like you get more right front. There, I felt way more right rear Dirty Air than anything. Like it was transferring me to the right rear more than the right front, but it's also a different track, so it's going to be different. I just didn't think it'd be that much different, And
What's
like,
that do to your car for people at home?
what it did for me, like whenever I get on the right front at Knoxville, like I really have to use brake. Like brake is everything, which is kind of the same way when you get right rear tight too. It's just like at these smaller tracks, when you're getting more pitch to it, you'll like almost dribble the left front tire. Like you'll feel like it's not like a shake, but you'll just like you feel bouncing off the dirt, and it's more on exit than anything. That's when you get it the most. I feel like center to off is when Dirty Air comes in the most, especially at Jackson when it's that heavy.
Yeah, it sucks that, we've kind of talked about it. That place can race really well. It's just, it's hit and miss. And it sounds like Husitz might be getting some new dirt for next year. Hopefully if that's true, hopefully that works out and we can see less rubber and, cause then it feels like you're always so worried that it's going to take rubber that you have to water it up. And then it's really heavy. So you end up still locked down in a different way. Maybe if that works at Husitz, it's something that can translate over to Jackson. They also don't race a ton either, which can be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had much to add there, Kate.
I mean, they don't have an outlaw show, or the Jackson Nationals are not an outlaw show anymore. So
that's right.
The only thing that I could really add to that is that just shows us how spoiled we are at Knoxville to have the Duncans, and I mean they got thrown for a loop with that new dirt too, but they figured it out, and as much as people have been shitting on them the past couple weeks, they do a damn good job. And I feel like that was like the perfect scenario for people to realize, like, holy cow, these guys are good at what they do.
Yeah, I think the only time, I don't even think I could think of a time this year where I wasn't like happy with the track. Like I wouldn't say, like sometimes it'd be it's okay, like it's still decently racy, but like the tracks this year were, compared to last year, I feel like we're a lot better at Knoxville, especially. That's for sure. Like I never had to worry about it being one lane. There's always gonna, like, at least, or if it was, it might have been for a few laps, and then the top would develop in, or the bottom would come in, and it'd still be super racy. That's why, yeah, we were damn spoiled this year. That is for sure. Like I was super impressed with the track, especially after last year. It definitely, like you said, it definitely threw him a curveball, and it took him a few weeks to get her dialed in. But after that, tracks were right back to normal Knoxville, man. Just wide, couple, 2, sometimes 3 lanes. And yeah, I mean, and with Jackson this year, it's either been like super slick, 2 lanes, top or the bottom, like foot and a half from the fence, or right up on the berm. And it was great racing. I remember watching that one. I really enjoyed watching that, where it's been like single file. It's either one or the other. I have not seen an in-between race at Jackson this entire season.
We had an unbelievable race on Saturday night at Placerville. There are people saying this track needs like a mini nationals. I agree. Let's go here 5 times a year. Justin Sanders picks up his first win on a national touring series, which is unbelievable. It's taken this long, but man, he has come oh so close. got past Caleb Montgomery with 2 to go, coming to the white flag,
Heartbreaker.
and was able to get it. What an unbelievable race! An
It was
unbelievable
awesome.
race. Caleb, they have so much respect for each other, which I think really helped out. Like Justin was not mad about any of the moves. I was worried one of the times Caleb really chopped him going into one, but he had to. What an unbelievable track, boys. Cade, you were talking about it, about the curb. It was just, you can't push it. I mean, we saw Tanner Holmes push it in qualifying, and that ruined his whole night. They didn't even do the feature because it put him so far behind the 8 ball. He spun out on the curb, but unbelievable. Awesome race between Caleb Montgomery and Justin Sanders.
Yeah, that place is always pretty badass, and it's always super technical. But to watch those two kind of go at it, and to watch Justin build runs like he was doing was really impressive. And I know he said it in Victory Lane, but that's a testament to that. Who's it? Aaron Reitzel guy?
Yeah.
We talk about how good he is as a driver, and I know he's a good crew chief as well because he does it all himself pretty much. But yeah, that was cool to see him get a win for his crew chief self too.
And he struggled too. Like he was back to 6th early on, and then Corey Day spun out twice. Like that was weird.
Corey clearly was not trying too hard, but like knew he was going to get into Caleb, and then just and then
something else happened later. But
he wrecked again.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. But I mean, he is kind of a win it or wear it kind of driver. So
checkers the record.
Yeah, kind of
the records, baby.
expect to see that every once in a while.
Full send or no send all the time. That's how that's why he wins a lot of races too. At the same time, that's why he's called Corey Payday like last year, and how most of this year kind of says it. He's coming after that money. He wants that green, chasing it 24/7.
Chase did have a good.
It's not.
Chase had a good call on Friday night. Yeah, he was like, "It's Friday, it's payday." That was, that's pretty good. Blake.
I am not. I know Tony Vacco and I are in the same boat. It's just kind
of
a
little mad on it too.
What are we doing? But awesome track. And that was without lap traffic. Like they never really caught lap traffic. We kept getting cautions in the track.
We got two drivers here. So what could Caleb have done different? It looks like he was really struggling off of 4, like just skating, and that's where did I say Justin? Caleb was struggling, and that's where Justin ended up getting by him. What else could he have really done, if anything?
Let me go first, kid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make me the bad guy. But anyways, yeah, he looked really, really good early on, and I feel like as the curve got better, because the moisture would just go away in the middle in 3 and 4 especially, and he had his wing trunked. Everyone saw it. That thing was stood up and all the way back. I feel like there's not really much he could have done besides really try and make it work on the curb. Everyone could say, oh well, yeah, just drive it in there. We'll go back down around the bottom / middle 1 and 2, then just zing it around the curb in 3 and 4. But it's not that simple. It's hard because that thing was snug. That's for sure, especially when you're having your wing that far back. And what I'm assuming, I'm not I can't read minds, but I'd say that he just had it tight enough to where if he got on the curb, it'd just be picking the front end over, because he has the wing so far back, and there's no little wing speed that there still is wing speed. So it's just going to be still all getting to those rear tires with the wing being so far back. And I'm sure if he went up there, the thing would have just been an absolute nightmare to hang on to. So he was just trying to thug it out through the middle and just hang on there.
Blocker a little bit.
Yeah. Just try and make Justin choose and guess where he's going to go. Is he going to try and come off the bottom like he did a few times, or is he going to slide up and get to the fence and try and get to the cushion and catch it where it was a little bit more mellow of a curb on exit?
Yeah, and it sounds easy, if your wing's trunked and you got to go to the top, just push it back forward. But a lot of people don't realize that totally kills your entry and your straightaway speed and all that fun stuff. So his stuff, I would say more than anything, he just didn't quite have it set up to run the curb, and it ended up going to pound the curb or lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was awesome. I mean, it was an awesome race to watch.
That was badass.
Aaron flew back to Knoxville and had x-rays. They have not publicly said how those turned out and what the timetable is. But I tell you what, whether Justin Sanders is in that 87 or if he's in his own 2, he's going to be a threat here for Silver Dollar and for Skagit. It is going to be awesome to watch him do that. And I mean, he's always been a California guy, but man, when he's come out just here to the Midwest, he ran well at the Nationals a couple years ago. He is a fun guy to watch, and it's a heck of a pairing. So
got to feel good for him too, getting that dub in a different car. Also, kind of showing I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise, the 87's so fast. And all I kept thinking, I'm like, man, I know Aaron's happy, but Aaron's got to be like, man, if only I was in that car, And I will say, I mean, I don't know the whole points. I don't have the points pulled up, but Brad Sweet did what Brad Sweet had to do here, at least this early portion, and run well.
He had a good weekend.
Yeah, I think he was hard charger at Placerville, or not hard charger, but got up through the field at Placerville and really took care of business. So I think Brad's really trying to tighten his grip on the championship. Giovanni Scelzi, we talked about him for a little bit. 3rd at Tulare, 16th at Placerville. Good runs for Gio. Like I said, he's going to get one of those. And then Emerson Axum, 14th at Ogilvie, and then 7th at Jackson in the 18.
Did I miss anybody? I think we pretty much covered kind of the shakeup guys after.
Yeah, I think we did. Cade Higday in this off week. He did not race. Cade Higday, all these guys are out racing, and Cade Higday stayed on the porch.
What's the note say, Blake?
Cade Higday stayed home, and that's all we're gonna say. Did not decide to race this year. I will say for the public, Cade does have an inch to go racing, because there were a couple times he texted. He's like, "Man, we got to go racing." So maybe we'll see the 24H outside of Knoxville just a little bit. But
do you have any plans yet? Have any plans yet? Barring everything going well at Knoxville Saturday.
I don't know. The only one that I really want to go to is that Spoon River show with the Sprint Invaders. That place is super cool. Hopefully the track turns out good, because I know I was talking to Dennis. They went there for, I think it was a Power Eye show earlier in the year, and it kind of was not what he expected, and he kind of made me nervous about it. So hopefully it's good. But other than that, we're not able to make the show at Eagle. And the only other one,
Tuscarora 50 is going to fit into your schedule, man. I just don't know.
That'd be a bad place to take a 360 against.
Oh man!
Other than that, probably just that final fall haul Sprint Invader show at Burlington. Again, hopefully that one's good.
I think Josh and I will be on the crew. We'll be wiping down the car.
That's right. Hopefully it still looks like it does right now.
Yeah.
See what happens. But all right, man. Well, Jack, we appreciate your time, man. I think all I've learned tonight, obviously we've learned a lot, but one of the biggest things I've learned tonight is if Cade's sick, we bring Jack in. I think you've done a great job here throughout this whole thing. Or if I'm sick, or if Josh is sick, I think we got to bring in you. You did a great job. We're all happy for you. It's been obviously a roller coaster year, but man, you're starting to reach the top of it here. It feels like at the end. And we wish you the best of luck here in these next couple weeks in the 2KS.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hopefully I can go crack one off here on Saturday, and that would be a pretty cool way to end at least a Knoxville season. But if being in someone else's car and got to go race more, then I gotta get back through it if it would happen, Let's go. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely gonna be a blast with the rest of the season with these guys, and until our deal's up, and kind of go from there. But yeah, it was definitely a blast coming here and talking to you guys. So have a good night. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, don't leave yet, Jack. You got to stick around. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he
See ya.
left.
Well, rip, bozo.
Take us out.
I guess that's it. We do have our last night of sprint car racing at Knoxville this weekend. August 23rd, it is the McKay Group Season Championship night. There is one more weekend left. This is bad planning by me. I don't have that written down. Blake, do you know the
late model nationals? Like the 18th, 19th, or 20th, or 19th, 20th, and 21st.
18th, 19th, and 20th.
Lucas Oil late model nationals.
You are correct. So that will be the final racing event at Knoxville. So that's a ways in the future. Make sure you get your butts there. If Jack wins, Cade will win in the 360s. We won't go to sleep that night. It'd be crazy. That would be very crazy. But yeah, if you can't make it, make sure you watch on Dirt Vision. And make sure you follow us here on Facebook. We did try Twitter Live tonight as well as YouTube. So make sure you're following us on all those socials at Knoxville Nights with no O on Twitter. And then I'm at Josh_Gerlach on Twitter. Blake is at Blake_Walker8. And Cade Higday is at Cade Higday. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. This has been fun doing this live. Keep an eye on our feeds. We might be trying to do this more often. So the response has been really good. So if that stays the way it is, we might have to make that a thing. Otherwise, we will see you next week on Monday.
A great sign is a surefire way to get people through the door. At Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps, we specialize in creating beautiful signs that capture attention and draw people in. Whether you're a business, school, church, bank, hospital, or event venue, we have the perfect sign solution for you. We make the process simple. From design to manufacturing to installation, our team handles it all. The right sign helps you stand out and attract more customers, so you want to get it right. Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps. Hashtag any sign, anywhere.